students, welcome to science class. Today I'm going to explain the chapter Atoms and Molecules for class 9th. Introduction. The entire universe is composed of matter and energy. Energy is the aptitude to perform a work. On the other hand, matter has a mass and occupies some space, and that matter can also be divided as solid, liquid, and gaseous. Maharshi Kanath postulated that if we go on dividing matter, we will derive smaller and smaller particles, which on further division gives off further smaller particles, finally leading to the derivation of the smallest particle that cannot be further divided. He named these particles to be Paramanu or atom. Matters are composed of a basic elements that cannot be broken down to substance with different chemical or physical properties. An ancient Greek philosopher not be divided further. Democritus called these indivisible particles called atoms. Atoms are nothing but it is an indivisible particle. At the end of this 18th century, scientists recognized the difference between elements and compounds and naturally become interested in finding out how and why elements combine and what happens when they combine. Antony L. Lavoisier led the foundation of chemical science by establishing two important laws of chemical combination. This chemical law of combination was established by Lavoisier and Joseph L. Prout. Look at this figure. This bench was also composed by an atoms. Atoms is nothing but it is an indivisible particle. Elements as a basic form of a matter that cannot be broken down into a simpler substance by chemical reactions. Then what are compounds? Compounds is a substance composed of two or more elements chemically combined with one another in a fixed proportion. Next is law of chemical combination. To understand the chemistry of the compounds, it is essential to devise a theory that accounts for both qualitative and quantitative interpretations during chemical changes. The law were laid down by Antony L. Lavoisier, that is law of combinations can be divided into two types, that is law of conservation of mass and law of constant proportion. First is law of conservation of mass. Then what it states? It states that mass can neither be created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. That is, total masses of reactants is equal to the sum of masses of products and the masses of unreacted reactants. For example, the reactions of carbon with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide involves conservation of mass in the following way. That is carbon. Here we use 12 gram of a carbon and 32 gram of a oxygen. After reaction, the amount of carbon dioxide produced will be 44 gram. That is the sum total of the amount of carbon and oxygen used. Here we take a carbon 12 gram plus oxygen, that is a 32 gram. 32 plus 12 it becomes a 44 grams. After the reactions it gives a 44 grams of a carbon dioxide. Before the reactions the carbon is a 12 gram and oxygen is 32. 32 plus 12 before the in the reactant side that mass of that elements is 44 gram and after the reaction the mass of the also. What it states, the law of conservation of mass, it states that mass can neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. So this carbon plus oxygen gives rise to carbon dioxide. This is also one of the chemical reactions. Here also the mass can neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. Law of constant proportion. What it states, and this also called or also termed as a law of definite proportion. It states that in a chemical substance, the elements are always present in a definite proportion by mass. Is clear? Means it states that in a chemical substances, the elements are always present in a definite proportions by mass. Look at this figure. In a compound such as a water, here I just take a water, the ratio of mass of hydrogen to the mass of oxygen is always 1 is to 8, means definite proportion. Whatever the sources of water, thus if 9 gram of water is decomposed, it gives 1 gram of hydrogen and 8 gram of oxygen. It always gives this 1 gram of hydrogen and 8 gram of oxygen. Similarly, in ammonia, nitrogen and hydrogen are always present in the ratio 14 is to 3 by mass, whatever the method or the sources from which it is obtained. Here we take 17 gram of ammonia, we just decomposes this ammonia, we get 14 gram of nitrogen and 3 gram of hydrogen. Whatever the method or the sources we just obtain this ammonia, but it always gives a 14 is to 3 ratio, means nitrogen is always 14 and the hydrogen is always a 3, means nitrogen hydrogen ratio is always constant, that is a 14 is to 3. And this law what it states, in chemical substances, in a compound water we get the ratio 1 is to 8, and in a compound ammonia we get the ratio 14 is to 3. This is a constant proportion. Whenever whatever the methods or whatever the sources we get water and ammonia, but the proportion is same, that is 14 is to 3 in ammonia and the water is a 1 is to 8. In this topic we are discussed about atoms, elements, compounds and laws of chemical combinations. In that we are discussed law of constant proportion and law of conservation of mass. Law of conservation of mass states that mass can neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. And in law of constant proportions, it states that in a chemical substance, the elements are always present in a definite proportions by mass. Thank you all.